Now on to the detail mixture and using the Badger Sotar Slim. Such an amazing detail airbrush. You'll really love it. So I'm going in with the ink, with the detail mixture. And now I'm starting with the eye. And I'm not trying to do everything all at once. It's so important to hit, leave it, let it dry, let it set, and then do another layer. So in this particular painting, I am going to be very symmetrical. Whatever I do in one eye, I'm going to do in the other eye. And just taking my time. Remember earlier when we were talking about distance, about 6 to 8 inches doing the white, because you want to have that real smoothness. But now I'm pretty close, maybe 2 to 1.5 inches doing the detail of her eyes. And the underdrawing is there, so I do have something to go by. I'm not drawing with the airbrush. You always want to have a really solid line drawing before you go in with the airbrush, whether it be the white or any of the mixtures. And I'm just taking my time. I'm not trying to get the dark values that I'll have at the end. I'm just building up values slowly. Why do I start with the eyes? Because the eyes are the most important start of the portrait. So that's why I'm concentrating on her eyes. There are no freehand stencils in this portrait, so a lot of it I am actually just doing it freehand, I guess. And so I am sketching. Before I said I wasn't drawing. No, but you sketch, you sketch in some of the larger shadow shapes, such as the orbicularis oris above, below her bottom lip. And you also see I'll sketch some of the darks near her hand. And also at this point, you'll do some erasing, but as I say always, make sure that the paper is really, really dry. Otherwise, you'll tear into that paper. So I'm getting rid of pencil lines and kind of reestablishing some of the contours here. You always want to be drawing with your pencil with this technique. You don't want to be drawing with your airbrush. It's just, why draw with something that is not as accurate as something else? So you see I'm reestablishing that contour right by her mouth and then getting rid of any superfluous pencil lines. So you're constantly adjusting when you're working, at least in my technique. The pencil I use is a Pentel. It is 0.5 millimeters and the designation is P as in Papa 205. I've been using that pencil all the time. Also, the eraser is the Mono Zero round, and that's like erasing with a pencil. It's probably the most detailed of erasers, which I really love. Earlier I mentioned that I'm not using freehand stencils, but we can't live without freehand shields. Get yourself a medium-sized freehand shield. The real tiny ones aren't as effective, and the big ones are really cumbersome, but this is about 6 inches. And you see it's really perfect. I get some of the hard edges I'm looking for, and just make sure that in between using it, you wipe it, on your shirt or on a cloth, so this way you don't retransmit ink to another part of your painting. That would be tragic. So the freehand shields are really crucial, especially in a portrait like this. There's some hard edges and soft edges. I don't want you to look for hard edge and soft edges arbitrarily, but look at the model and see where the edges are harder and where the edges are softer, and then go ahead and reproduce that. But don't say to yourself that you need hard and soft edges. You just need to pay attention to the edges. Are they hard or soft? Is it a light right next to a dark? Those are things to really pay attention to. But stay out of any kind of dogmatic view that you need a hard edge and a soft edge. We just need to pay attention to our model. The detail mixture is absolutely perfect for sketching really subtle values, the slight turns of form. And you can see that the nasal labial fold and the cheekbone where the zygomatic is, you need just the lightest application of tone. And with my ink method, you're really able to get that. We also, you see, we're playing with the dark of the paper as well. So where we didn't actually put the white, we already started with our shadows. So I'm not hitting the midtones, but I'm hitting the kind of uh, the as it turns just before it goes into shadow, that kind of dark light we're hitting. And notice a lot of times I'm not using a freehand shield because when you have soft edges, a freehand shield will be counterproductive. So, and the more soft I want to get really just means that I just put my airbrush a little further away from the paper. And here, of course, you'll see the contrast. If I want a hard edge, such as where the chin is coming forward from the neck, I would use my freehand shield. So it's a combination of different techniques, but the India ink on the tone paper really helps you with this. This concludes part 2 of painting Emma Watson Airbrush. And I just want to say, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Please also check out my website, inkflingers.com, and there you will find my inks and my airbrush that I use, also the online classes, and also when you subscribe, you'll be alerted if you hit that bell icon, so you'll know when the next video. Wednesday nights, which is really cool, every Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I have a live stream where you can ask questions while I paint. I hope you have a great week and take care, everybody.